Our father was a great musician, and we were always so tremendously inspired by his singing and his veena playing. I first learned Indian music, the ragas and the talas, and our father taught us to sing the different ragas and to beat the different talas, and even my elder sisters were taught to dance, Indian dancing. One of the remembrances that I have is when I went to a concert in Paris. My uncle took me to the first concert that I ever heard of Western music, because I never knew as a child that Western music existed. I only knew about Eastern music because my father taught us Indian music and sang very often to us. And there I had the privilege of hearing Misha Elman playing the violin concerto of Beethoven with the Orchestra of Amsterdam. And I was so tremendously impressed that I ran home and begging my mother to have a violin. I want the violin, I want the violin. And finally, I got that violin and studied like anything until I thought I could play as good as Misha Elman. At a quite young age, I had the privilege of being at the École Normale de Musique. It was one of the most prestigious music schools in Paris, founded by Thibaut, Cortot and Casals. And we had great teachers like Thibaut, for instance, for the violin, and Nadia Boulanger for composition, and Enesco for chamber music. At a certain stage in my life, I was a violinist in an orchestra, first of all in Utrecht in Holland, and then in Haarlem. And then, of course, I acquired a lot of, how would I say now, technique as far as knowing how the different instruments function and what they can do and what they cannot do and how they can be combined and so on. Playing in an orchestra is really the only way that one can really learn to put a score together. I have a duty. I felt it as a duty to combine Western classical harmony together with Indian ragas. And so one of the most typical composition is my Gandhi symphony, which I composed in memory of Gandhi, because I was always a great admirer of Gandhi. And that composition has been played at the UNESCO Radio in New York in homage to Gandhi, which was a great privilege for me. And in that composition, I really tried to prove that one can insert ragas into Western harmonic structures. My father founded what he called the International Sufi movement. This is a movement of which is based on the great ideals of unity of spiritual ideals. But unity of spiritual ideals to be understood as love and understanding and tolerance to the belief of each person, and to try to be a living example of those great ideals of love, harmony and beauty. Spirituality cannot belong to any religion. There is no such a thing as Hindu spirituality or Muslim spirituality or Christian spirituality or Jewish spirituality or your spirituality or my spirituality. Spirituality is spirituality. It does not belong to anybody and cannot be imposed and cannot be bought, cannot be taught, can only be discovered. Music is one of those outlets of the heart, if one can put it like that, where the heart can express itself without really being limited by words or by thoughts, where the feeling flies forth beyond thoughts and beyond anything that can be defined. Of course, there are other arts, naturally, but well, I like to say that the music is the most subtle art of all arts.